welcome to my channel. My name's Angela and this is Devon Thread Tales. Today I'm going to be sharing with you everything that I've made in May. If you haven't already seen it, I have just done a little mini series on Me Made May and it was really good fun. I go through and analyse all of the clothing that I've made over the last couple of years that is appropriate for this season, and I've been wearing things whether I like them or not, and then sort of going through the reasons for how I feel about them, and it's been really interesting. It's been really great, and if you fancy that, then I'll pop a link in up here. Obviously don't worry if you don't, that's absolutely fine too. So today I'm going to share with you everything that I've made in May. I've actually made quite a lot, and it's really strange because I didn't really start sewing anything until around about the middle of May. I had a real kind of, well, I was just really busy with all sorts of things and I just didn't have the enthusiasm to get going. But I did cut out lots and lots of things, and I just cut out project after project and put them into project bags and put them to one side, and then all of a sudden I've just kind of gone, right, I'm going to pick up a project and start doing it, and it's just worked really well, and I seem to have got through so much more because of doing that rather than sort of picking up and putting down all the time. So I will crack on and I'll show you what I've made. I'm going to try and put some video in at the same time as me talking about the different makes that I've made. So today I've got on the Sew Over It Georgie Dress. Now I got this fabric as a gift from a lady called Sarah, and she owns a very small company in Devon called Nos Deco. I've met her once and we've become friends through a mutual friend, and she messaged me and asked me if I would like to make a garment out of her fabric. She designs all of the fabric as in the pattern, and I'll show you this one up close. It's got lots of flowers on it and sort of leaves in the background. It's on this sort of mauvey sort of purpley colour with these pretty pink flowers and yellow flowers. And then she has all of her fabric made up by Spoonflower, and you can go onto the Spoonflower site under Nos Deco and find all of her designs. There's lots on there, all sorts of different ranges of colours and lots of different types of designs as well. Obviously this one's quite flowery. She has got lots of florals, but she has lots of other designs as well, and she's just really lovely, and she's really passionate about what she does, so I really recommend going and having a little look, and I'll put a link in the description below so that you can look at her on Instagram and on her Spoonflower shop as well. Anyway, on to the dress. So I made the Georgie dress, and this is the second time that I've made it. The first version I made it exactly as it was meant to be in the pattern, and I made it with a lining. Now it's fine, and the colour that I made mine in is a very autumnal sort of colour, so it was absolutely fine to have that lining because it will be a little bit warmer. But I didn't think it would be something I'd ever be able to wear in the summer, and Chilli from Voice of a Creative actually has done the same thing as me. She's made it with a lined version, but she then went ahead and did it and experimented and did it in a non-lined version, and her dress is absolutely gorgeous. And I thought, do you know what, I think this dress, this material would suit the Georgie dress. So I did the same as her, and I missed out the lining altogether, and instead of putting in the elastic, I actually just folded over the hem of the neckline twice. Now I'm sure you can see in the video, but it has a faux wrap which has got pleats here. Now on the last version I actually gathered it, but I did the pleats this time. Honestly, I don't think it makes any difference if it's pleated or gathered. It was easier gathering it than pleating it because I actually extended the bodice because I believed that it was going to be a little bit short on me. So I had to sort of reevaluate where the pleats were going to go. But I think it's worked really well, and I'm really pleased with it. I think it's such a pretty fabric, and I'm going to get lots of wear out of it. And I think I'm definitely going to make more Georgie dresses. Anyway, I have some more makes that I've got which aren't actually for me. So I have one for my husband, and this is the Burda 6602. Now you've seen this one from me before. I've made this one again. Now I need to get some pictures of my husband. Hopefully I'll get them all up on the screen at the same time. But I've made it out of this absolutely gorgeous fabric. I wasn't sure if he would wear it or not, but although he hasn't worn it yet, because when I finished it, the weather was scorching hot and it's stayed really, really hot since. So it's just way too hot to wear anything like this. But I wasn't sure if he'd wear it because of the pattern. He doesn't normally go for anything with pattern. He's normally quite, you know, jumpers are very, very plain for him. But he's really into sport. And I saw this online. This is from Luve Fabrics. And again, I'll put a link in below. But I liked all the words that are on it. It was fast and number one and yeah and cool and you win and footballs and football shoes and trainers. I just thought it was quite cool. And it's in this lovely petrol colour, and the inside is very, very soft and fleecy. It's actually very warm, and he's not going to be able to wear this until the weather turns a bit cooler because it is very, very warm. Now I experimented with this and did a different hem on the bottom and on the sleeve, and I actually did a decorative stitch. So on the inside you can see it's done exactly the same as it is on the outside to hold it down. I just feel like I've got a flatter look with that, and I think it actually looks quite nice on this sweatshirt. I think it's sort of adds to the design of it, and I'm really, really pleased with how that's come out. Obviously it's not going to be appropriate for all garments, but I thought that worked quite well on this one. So that was a make for my husband. I'm now going to show you something that Amy has been making. She hasn't finished yet, but I know that quite a lot of people on here really like seeing her makes, and normally she's very much into knitting, which she still is. However, during this lockdown, she decided she wanted to give sewing a bit of a bash, and she wants to make clothes, but it just doesn't grab her like it grabs me, and that's fine. That's fair enough. We're all so different and we have different interests, and I can't knit like she knits, but she's started to have a little go at quilting, and she started to make these squares which she's then going to put together to make hopefully a quilt. Obviously it'll take some time to do, but she has just made this absolutely gorgeous square, and she's made 2 of these now, and she's got all the pieces cut out for the next one as well, and she has sewn it so beautifully. They're so in line with each other. She's taken real care over it all, and I love the design. This fabric was just fat quarters from Hobbycraft. It's got little hummingbirds and flowers and leaves and things like that, and she's just done it so well, and she's really enjoying it. Once she sort of gets her teeth into it, she's like, right, you know, get it done, and she's got a real process to it. So once she's made lots more of these squares, she's then going to try and attach them in some form or another, whether that's with a border in between or just together as they are, and make some sort of a quilt. She said, I really like the idea that when I go off to university that I've got something that I've made from home to take with me. I think that's such a lovely idea. Anyway, I'll get changed and I'll show you my next item. So the next thing that I made, I have actually made 2 things out of one set of fabric, and I was again gifted this fabric from Minerva Craft to be able to do a blog post for them, which will be coming out soon. Now, I made a bit of a mistake with this fabric, and when I saw it online, I thought, oh, that would be really nice. But I must have misread or was looking at a different fabric, and I did actually think it was sweatshirt material. And it's not. It's more like it's a cotton jersey, but it's quite light. So it's almost a viscose jersey, but not quite. Anyway, it is this very pale blue, sort of a baby blue, and it has these silver sequined hearts stitched into it. Now I'm holding this up and showing you because actually this was for Amy, and she really, really likes it. It's an Agnes Dress top, with the Freya skirt on the bottom. Now I've done this for myself before and really liked it, and she said that's the sort of style I want. So I made her a size 2, I believe, because of her measurements. And again, hopefully there'll be some pictures and things up on the screen for you to see. But it worked really well, and she really liked it. But I had quite a bit of the material left over. So I actually made myself an Agnes top as well. And I've not done it before where you do the ruched centre section. I've only ever done the Agnes top straight. So again, I'll put pictures in so that you can see it, or hopefully video as well. But again, just a really plain t-shirty top, and I quite like it. I think it's quite good fun. What I will say is that although it has sequins on it, it wasn't difficult to sew. Obviously the sequins aren't all over it, so I don't know what a material would be like if it had that over the entirety of the fabric. But it was no hassle sewing it whatsoever. But what I would say is I have found quite a lot of sequins everywhere in the house. So I don't think that they stay on particularly well. And I don't know if that is just this fabric or whether or not it is conducive to all fabric with sequins on. Don't know. But I do like it, and I think it's quite good fun. And the colour, I really like the colour, but I think in particular the colour really suits Amy, and she's really pleased with how it's come out. So the next thing I'm going to show you, I am going to put a little video up of me wearing this, but I've made, it's sort of underwear, but it's not sort of, you know, really sexy. But I've made a little crop top. Now I had this fabric some time ago, and I made some Lander pants and True Buys Hudson pants, sorry, should I say, the like the joggy bottoms and a vest top, and I think I even made a pair of pants out of them as well. But I had some left over, and I really fancied having a little go at making some underwear. Now I'd really like to make proper underwear, but this was my first attempt. This is a pattern company called, oh, the name's gone completely out of me now. It's something Luve. Luve. I'll put the name up on the screen. Sorry, but I know that this is the Effie top, and it's a really sweet little crop top. I will obviously only wear it to bed because I've done it with some lace and things on the bottom, but I think if I made this out of more of a sporting fabric with maybe a different bit on the bottom, I could actually wear this as a bikini top, and that would work really well as well. So that is another little make that I've made for myself, and I'm really quite pleased with that. I then made something for my eldest daughter, Katie. Now I made this out of fabric that I bought from John Lewis that we bought in Cambridge, and this is a self-drafted skirt. Again, I'll put pictures up and a little video of her wearing it. This fabric is a viscose jersey, navy blue background, and it has these metallic gold stars all over it. I really like it. I think it's ever so sweet, and she just wanted to have a very long skirt made out of it. So all I did was I measured her waist. I then was going to take the waist size and times it by 1.5 times and gather it. But then when I measured out the fabric was just a little bit bigger than that. So I actually just did it the width of the fabric. I then obviously measured her length from her waist down to her feet. I added a little bit on for the waist, and I then just literally sewed it all up on my overlocker and inserted the elastic, and it's worked really well, and she really likes it, and I'm just really pleased with how that's come out. So that was another make. I shall go and get changed and show you the next thing. So the next thing that I've made is the Simplicity 8601, which is this pattern here, and it comes with a few variations. The sleeves are slightly different on each one. They're more or less all tie front. This is just showing you it without it tied up. And I've made this version here, which is View C. Now I saw this online quite some time ago with another lady that had made it up on Instagram, and I fell in love with it straight away. I absolutely loved it, but I don't know why, I just never got around to making it, and I've had the pattern there for absolutely ages. I really like making patterns from independent companies, and I have a huge selection of these sorts of patterns, and I just don't tend to make them because I get kind of drawn into all the independent companies because they're really quite unique and different. But I've realised over this month, because I've made a couple of things which aren't from independent companies, that these patterns are just as lovely and really nice to use. So I'm going to try and be a little bit more adventurous and go through my pattern stash that I've got and try and make up some more things that I've got from these sorts of patterns that I've had either free through magazines and things like that, because I've really enjoyed making this and another garment that I've got here, and I've got a few more in mind that I want to make as well in the future. So yeah, it's kind of opened my eyes up a little bit making this. Anyway, enough of that. So I bought this fabric from Minerva Craft, and it's a crepe fabric, and it's a slightly off-white. It might be coming up white on screen, but it's slightly off-white with a navy blue polka dot, and I absolutely love this. Again, hopefully there'll be video up with me on this, wearing this, but it is just such a nice make. I really like the sleeve detail with the little tie, and I love the fact that it's got the tie front. I put a little label in this which I got from my So Hayley Jane box, which says "You've got this," and it's like, yeah, I've got this. And it's just, I'm just really pleased with it. It's such an incredibly easy make. I cannot recommend this enough. If you're a beginner sewist, then this is a really easy pattern, and it even says on there easy to sew. So I made the size 12 in this, I believe. Yes, the size 12, and it was plenty big enough based on my measurements. And again, I'll make sure that my measurements are in the description down below as well, so that you can look at that based on your measurements. But it worked really well. I haven't made any adjustments to it. I haven't lengthened it or changed any of the seam allowances or anything like that, and it's just gone together like an absolute dream. And this fabric is lovely. It feels bright and fresh, and I feel like I could wear this with high-waisted trousers or jeans or shorts. I think it would look quite nice with shorts. I've got it on today with a little denim skirt, and that works quite well. So yeah, I'm really pleased with it, and it's a favourite in my wardrobe already. So I'll get changed and I'll show you the next thing. Actually, I'll show you the next two things because they go together. So these are my last two makes, and I have got on the Sew Over It penny dress blouse hack. I made this because I've seen quite a few versions of this. I really like the penny dress anyway. I quite like the shape of the blouse at the top. I think it's really flattering and very pretty. And I saw Vicky from So Little Sparrow had made a version, and as soon as I saw it, I thought, oh, I've got some fabric which I know will be perfect for that. So I've made it out of a Swiss spot cotton, which I've made something previously in this, but I had a little bit left over, and this blouse doesn't take very much at all. So I made it in this, and I got this from Haberdashery Fabrics and More in Plymouth. Now, there's a really easy tutorial on the Sew Over It site. You just need to put in Sew Over It penny dress hack or penny dress blouse hack, and it comes up, and it's such a simple and straightforward pattern to do. You don't need any specialist equipment or anything. You kind of really just need paper, a pencil and a ruler, really. That's all you need. And I'm really pleased with how it's come out. I love the tie front detail. I think that's really sweet. I like the fact that it's sort of loose fitting, but it has a bit of shape because obviously it draws in at the waist. And yeah, I just really like it. I did make this all up, and then when I got to the end I thought, oh, I haven't got any buttons and I can't go anywhere to buy any buttons, but Lizzie from Make at 140 in Plymouth came to the rescue, and she sent me these really gorgeous little white, very plain buttons, which were just absolutely perfect for this top. So I'm really pleased. So onto the bottoms, and I have made the Simplicity K1069. Now this is a pattern that has got skirt, trousers, shorts and culottes on it. Now anybody that's watched any of my previous videos will know I'm a little bit scared of wide leg trousers. I am very much a skinny leg trouser person. but I've embraced it and I've made them. Now I bought this fabric from Minerva Craft. It is the exact same fabric as I've made for my blouse, except for the colours are switched over. So I've made it in a navy blue with a cream dot, and I have to say I absolutely love them. Haven't worn them yet other than trying them on because I wanted to keep them nice to show you. But I will be wearing them now. I might wear them tomorrow with this blouse, and I just really like them. So hopefully you can see from the video anyway, but they have a set of 2 pleats on either side. It has a centre back invisible zip, and they're just, I think they're really flattering. I really love the way that they flow when you walk around. They almost look like a very long skirt unless you're taking big strides. Only drawback with them, I would say, is possibly I would have really liked some pockets, but that said, they are skimming over the hips, and I think maybe if they had pockets it might add a bit of extra bulk, and that wouldn't be any good. But really, I do absolutely love them, and I think they're a really great pair of trousers. Again, incredibly easy. This is a very easy pattern. It doesn't say easy to sew on here, but it is. So again, a beginner's trouser pattern. Really, you only have to worry about your waist measurement, and as long as you've got that right, you're absolutely fine. I did make the smallest size in this that I had in my pattern, which was a size 12, which actually the waist size is coming up an awful lot smaller on the body measurements, but I took the pattern and I measured it over and over again, and actually I could see that it was going to be huge if I made them bigger. So I made it up in this size, but before I fully committed to sewing the side seams, I did actually just tack them to just doubly make sure, and they were absolutely fine. They're very high-waisted, so I don't know whether or not that makes a difference to what the measurements are, but yeah, I just really like them. I love the fabric. It's very light and flowy. They're just great. I'm really pleased with all the things that I've made this month. I just think that everything's gone really well, and I really like everything, and I feel like I've embraced a little bit. I've gone for the spotty top, which is a bit more patterny for me. I love my Georgie dress, and I love my wide leg trousers, so there you go. And it's been nice to sew for some other people as well. I always enjoy sewing for my girls and for John. Anyway, that's it from me. I hope you've all enjoyed that. I have lots of plans for June, and lots of things that I want to make, so hopefully I'll have some things to show you at the end of the month. I have got a few bits of fabric that I'm going to do a quick fabric haul on and show you that too, but other than that, that's it from me. So I hope you all have a good week. Take care everyone, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.